Hi guys, this is Charlotte. I'm here to talk to you about the Japanese demo for a game called Stella Glow. So this is the last game from the development company Image Epoch, as they've just declared bankruptcy after their CEO went missing for like 3 months. So this game is getting published in North America courtesy of Atlas. It's yet to be announced for a European or Australian New Zealand release, but we'll probably get it courtesy of NISA if we do. So the producer for this game was the same producer for Fate Extra, and the director was also the lead planner for Okami, which was one of my favourite games of all time. So in the world of Stella Glow, we have a witch named Hilda who is trying to turn the world into crystal using her very powerful song magic. The main character goes by the name of Alto, and he lost his memory shortly before the beginning of the game. But after Hilda turns his village and his best friend's mother into crystal, he decides to go out on a journey to put a stop to her. So he leaves with his best friend Lizette, who is a water witch, and also another lady named Popo, who is a witch who uses wind. They also head off with some knights to will go out and stop Hilda and journey the world. So Stella Glow is a turn-based RPG. It'll look very familiar to fans of Fire Emblem, such as myself. So it's got the basic gridded map. It's got the Final Fantasy Tactics-ish terrain system, where you've got different terrain types will give you advantages, and also if different elevations will give you advantages. So if you're on an elevation that's higher than your opponent, then you'll be able to deal more damage and have more accurate attacks, so you'll land your hits more often. So that's pretty cool. So in battle, you have your standard, just normal attack. You've got your special attacks that use up skill points. You can use items. You can move around. At the end of each turn, you're prompted to select which way your character is going to face. Because and you have to give this careful thought, because if they actually get hit from behind, then won't be able to counterattack, basically. So that goes for you as well. So if you attack an enemy from behind, then they won't be able to do a counterattack to you either. Later on in the game, you also have access to various elemental attacks, generally via your witches. So as I said earlier, you've got your best friend Lizette, who uses water. You've got Popo, who uses wind. There's also been revealed a fire witch by the name of Sakura. And that's sort of all we really know at the moment, unless you go out and play the game. So there are a few things which weren't shown in the demo, but which will be in the game, such as the chapters in the game are split into 2. So basically you've got your free time, in which you get to explore the town. You can take quests and odd jobs from villagers and just go out and find some items. You can teach your witches more song magic, which I'll get into in a little bit. You can get more equipment. There's also a gemming or slot system for your weapons. So you can actually chuck some orbs, they're called orbs in this game, into your weapons to gain some added skills. So just to help yourself out in battle, have a bit more attacks at your disposal. The other part of the chapter is that the actual story progression. So you'll go out, you'll talk to people who are important to the story, or you'll go out and fight some demons or monsters or what have you, or go out and fight Hilda and her minions. So those are the 2 different types of things you can do in each chapter. It's worth noting that during the free time chapter, you only have a limited amount of time in which to do it, so make sure you get everything you want to get done and you do it quickly. Otherwise, you'll just have to move on with the story, and I'm afraid you don't have another choice. So something you can do both in town and in battle is you can have special sync moments. So that's basically you raising your affinity or your bond with your allies. This is generally done via special conversations, and also it's done during some story events as well. In the demo, you can see at one point where we're given some choices to respond to Lizette's questions, and those I would guess, would affect our bond with Lizette. So different responses would raise affinity by different amounts. The biggest advantage in raising your bond with people is that you then gain access to sync skills. So sync skills, as you may have guessed, are basically moves that Alto can use in conjunction with the witches, and so they can just pull off these really powerful attacks together. They're really, really cool. And of course, other people in the party can use them together as well. So the way you get more songs is that at certain points in the story, and also while you're in town, you gain an ability to tune the witches. So basically, Alto will dive into their heart, defeat some monsters in there, and then he'll come back out with a new song for the witches. And so that's the main way you unlock more songs for the witches. It seems like a pretty interesting concept. It wasn't really... It happened in the demo, but you didn't really have a complex map, so I'd really like to see... when the game comes out, I'd like to see that more in depth. I feel like it'd be really interesting, and I really want to try it out properly. It's also worth noting that doing this, tuning the witches, diving into their hearts, it also unlocks a more powerful form of the witches, which I read was called the goddess form. So that sounds pretty cool, and it sounds like it's definitely something you should be doing when you're playing the game. So in battle, you can use your songs by filling up after you filled up your songstone gauge, and that fills up basically whenever you attack. So the more you attack, the more your songstone gauge fills up, and the more songs you can perform. So there are two types of songs. These are solo songs, that speaks for itself. They're performed on their own. And they generally sort of have a slight area of effect. They'll just affect the area immediately around the witch doing the singing. And then ensembles are performed with the witch and also with our main character Alto. And they generally affect the entire map. So these ensembles are incredibly powerful. Two examples that I've come across in my reading have been that one makes it so that all of your next attacks will be criticals, and another one puts all enemies on the field to sleep, and that one sounds absolutely ridiculous. That sounds awesome. There are a couple of things I noticed in regard to controls while I was playing the game. So just while you're watching cutscenes, you can fast forward through them with R, you can skip them entirely with start, and you can hit the L button to autoplay. On the field itself, the field of battle, what's interesting is this game has a turn order, so it's got a little thing down the bottom, and it'll show you in which order people will be moving will be moving next. So that's really handy. You can help you plan out your strategies. You can also zoom in and out on the battlefield with the Y button. One thing that as someone who's played a lot of Fire Emblem, something that did annoy me about this game is that you can't select enemy range and then keep it displayed on the map. So you have to sort of just zoom out as much as you can, which isn't very far, and see sort of where your opponents can go. It can be a bit difficult trying to figure out where to place your allies if you don't have it permanently on the map. Because in Fire Emblem, if you can press the A button on an opponent and then move the cursor away from them, and their full range will remain on the map, so you can plan your strategy accordingly. It's not the case in this game, and I do find that really annoying. It just feels like it's just something they could have easily added to just make it better, make it much easier to plan your strategy. One more thing to note is that if you level up in the middle of a battle, all of your health and skill points will be restored. I have abused this a little bit in the demo by making a bad decision and using an attack that I really shouldn't have, because it probably would have killed me or just made me run out of SP. But I knew I was going to level up after that attack, so I just went, why not? I mean, it was pretty handy. So that's about it from me. So the game, again, was called Stella Glow. It's just released in Japan on June 4th. It's coming to North America via Atlas. Hasn't been announced for a European, Australian, New Zealand release yet. Hopefully we'll be getting it, because I definitely want to play it. Thanks for listening, guys.